We're well and truly in the off-season now. Overwatch League is done and dusted. All the teams are starting to say their goodbyes. Houston Outlaws is setting fire to their brand. All those good things. But people really enjoyed my history of Overwatch that I did a couple of seasons ago, where I went back and sort of did a chronological order of some of the best games that happened in Overwatch history, from pre-Overwatch League into Apex into Overwatch League, the archives, and go into the Overwatch League classic matches that happened throughout the entirety of the league and how it functioned. So I did a tweet. I put out a bat signal for what games do you guys want to see. First, racking them off. We're not going to go in any order. We're just going to do them as we please. There's going to be Overwatch 1 matches. There's going to be Overwatch 2 matches. There's going to be so many different things that I'm going to upload over the next few weeks as we continue to stream, continue to upload stuff, and sort of get you through this sort of dry period of Overwatch esports content. For me, the first game that I wanted to do was one of my favorite games of all time. It was probably the most hype. It was so wild. And a lot of people had this response in my tweet. It's the Paris Eternal versus the Philadelphia Fusion in the 2020 Summer Showdown Finals. We have, oh my God, a cat. We have the Philadelphia Fusion, who are trying to win something for the first time ever. If you know, you know. These teams that were here. We have soon Nico Benbest in. This was sort of their like French core that came in to play certain maps in certain metas. And that FD God, oh wait, FD God's a part of the Frenchies as well, sorry. We have Harbin Field and ended up moving to Vegas and sucking for a really long time. And they're going up against the Philadelphia Fusion. The Philadelphia Fusion were a love team at this point, still riding off of, 2018, 2019, 2020. A lot of the same players. We got Carpe and EQO as the signature DPS duo, still kicking around. By this time, EQO had been getting... I can't remember exactly how it all went down, but the devs just buffed Genji, where everyone just played Genji. Like, Genji was one of the strongest heroes. So we have... obviously, Sparkle playing for Paris Eternal. You see him in a little bit. And Philadelphia Fusion, who pull EQO. This was his rookie season. He wins Rookie of the Year in this season. And he was absolutely exceptional. It was an absolute travesty that we weren't. Let's enjoy it. Also, fun little sideshow casting this final. Absolute banger.
Exian Sparkle, man. And Exian Sparkle have just been... stellar, superb. You can throw whatever superlative you like, but that DPS duo has...
It is very similar to history of Overwatch League. That's what this series is going to be, but it's going to be a little bit more chaotic, a little bit more all over the place, and just watching what we want to enjoy.
His winnable moment. It's astounding.
Yeah, my DayZ streamers.
We're starting things off. Lijiang Tower here for grand final.
All right.
Summer Showdown. Map 1, Lijiang Tower.
So I think the reason that we got the Frenchies in for the Paris Eternal is going to be Benbest is going to play the Reinhardt. This is pretty common. Benbest was like very good at Reinhardt in this season. I think I remember going back, or like people still call me out. I said Benbest was like a top 5 tank in this season. Like Benbest was very good for the Paris Eternal in this season. That's why it was kind of shocking that he didn't get re-signed in the 2021. But obviously a Reinhardt player. We got 2 tanks. We got Rein Sigma versus Orisa Sigma. I'm pretty sure Orisa still has a shield at this point. Oh god, double shield. Let's see if we can enjoy some double shield action like we used to have.
Kind of measuring and putting him off by firing
First cap goes to Eternal though. I'm trying to remember what's... Oh, okay, so it was that. 6v6, double tank. It had its charm and it had its... I did not want to see this anymore.
And that is looking so good for the Philadelphia Fusion. Being able to recap that one and take it away from the Paris.
Tanks in and she's OP. The chokes, and I wonder if I'm going to feel that. Oh, flank Carpe with a bob.
Look at Carpe on this side angle. This is where he made that very famous winnable moment come to life.
Has bob as well. I mean, this is so sneaky. Could be making a play, a little bit of a...
This could go terribly. If they go too fast... Oh, I love the flux. Is the bob going to follow up behind? A late beat.
EQO committing the blade just on top of it to seal.
Oh my god, Sada used the bongo. Do you guys remember how good bongo was? Everyone used to think bongo was like the worst ultimate in the world. What was it, like 30% damage boost, and then it was like 50, and then it went down to 40%? Or just a quick TP onto the point by Paris Eternal. Oh, Nico, no! Nico like trolled. But he ends up getting behind with the Blizzard. Oh yeah, they're dead.
Chaos right now. Philadelphia Fusion have been caught with their trousers down, it feels like. They weren't ready for the
Philadelphia Fusion were not ready for that TP.
It's going to be a quick and easy flip over for the Paris Eternal. Granted, they did commit every single ult they had.
Slower in Overwatch 1? I think that's correct, right? Ultimate's charge.
Able to crack open.
They charge faster. Yeah, it was one of the two. They either made it faster or slower in Overwatch 2. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Where you expect and need this guy to go big.
EQO is just spamming from the off angles now. Philadelphia now going to be making.
I got nerfed for 2 and you had a second tank to hit. Yeah.
Oh. Paris Eternal soon shredding them, using all the damage output he gained. Look at that, the tracking.
You a Paris Eternal fan or a Philadelphia Fusion fan? Playing in North America at this point. He's playing from Korea on 200 ping. I wonder if you'll see the cams. They pull them up, like they're all just like popping off and they're all having a good time, and you just Fielder sitting alone in his kitchen. The ping king, yeah.
But Paris are prepared.
Yeah, they've come into it fully prepared, and we keep alluding to it, but EQO said, you know, I think they...
The bongo in Overwatch 1 was almost like Bap Window. Yeah, one of the biggest problems with it, though, was that the bongo was just killable, so most of the times it just didn't get value. No, do not roll onto the keyboard. You're going to ruin everything. The Ryan versus a Ryan Sigma.
He gets frozen up, though, and that means he can't do the cleave damage to the front lines.
Dude, soon, Carpe is just beaming. It's actually crazy. Look at how much, like, protection you have with 2 tanks. Like, I kind of forgot how, like, survivable everyone was, because you obviously have big healing, but, like, your tanks can cover so many different angles. The Reinhardt and the Sigma are just sort of... Oh, no!
Coming out from FD God.
EQO loses the ability to counter-strafe because he goes into the block. But then, the meta sort of shifted away from the Lucio.
Game, but he comes up clutch there with a great first boop onto EQO.
Obnoxious how they showed on the screen. Like, how do you walk into this if you feel... My favorite Overwatch 1 meta was, like, Ana Genji when Ana first came out. That was a wild... Oh my god, he's so unlucky he hasn't got a kill. FD God's gonna go for it again. Oh, that's too easy. That's too easy. Oh, Humbin steals both the credits, but that was both FD God. Oh, gets another one. Oh!
Absolutely absurd. This rookie that's hailing from France, playing for his home team, the Paris Eternal, and he comes out with performances like this in the grand finals.
That's unbelievably good. Paris Eternal just with the clutch plays over and over again. FD God is just bonkers. Give him an opportunity.
FD God's best season. Oh yeah, by far. Paris Eternal. And honestly, this was a pretty common thing throughout the entirety of this season. Just like out here in his bedroom, just like, yeah, what's up? Hey guys, how's it going? 200 ping wall in the season. Smallest kitchen ever. Yeah, actually, it's definitely a bit old school. Look at the egg. Oh, I didn't realize Josh was already bold at this point. Moments.
Genji is powerful because they believe in EQO.
Ah, the good days. The good old days. So, I think it's worth talking about. We got a bunch of subs coming in here. VCT aged the egg. Yeah. So we got... So let's talk about these subs. Okay, so we got Sparkle coming in. Benbest staying in. We have FD God staying in. And Exy. And this was also Exy's rookie year. And Exy was phenomenal in this season. His Cassidy in particular just went bonkers. Like, he was so good throughout this season. It was really sad to see him actually he had to end up not play the following season. He was with Dallas Fuel, if I remember correctly, had an injury to his back that he didn't look after. So Philadelphia Fusion aren't making... Oh, actually, they are making a sub. Boombox is coming in, and they're taking Funny Astro out. So losers pick. Philadelphia Fusion takes Paris Eternal to Kings Row. And I don't think Kings Row is much of a Reinhardt map at this point. I think it's primarily double shield, and that's what you're going to see, the Orisa Sigma. That was one of the big issues that they had in that season, right? Was that the 2022 Gumio?
They're going to be on the attack right now. And
Gurio?
as far as I can tell, this is going to be
signed at like the very end, and he just never played for a while. And they were just playing that's right, they were just playing Sparkle Doha, right? And they were just rushing the shit out of everybody, and they played like the Moira zombie comps. So X is gonna play the Widow. Like, how do you find angles here if you're the Widowmaker against the double shield? There he goes into high ground. Carpe playing the off angle. Oh my god, you remember the timings of the pulls from the Orisa, and then there's fire strikes, and then like rocks that are going through it.
Find his target, which was Exy, but
Carpe gets the Exy. That's so bad for them.
Right now,
set the line. Brent set the line. Brent set the line. Headshot after headshot.
Beautiful.
There was only 2 headshots, so he didn't say it too much.
Not to see the pause, but so pleased to see Genji in the meta again.
He said the
Yeah,
line.
spectacular
It's
to see
literally
it
like
come back
the
after so
Simpsons
long
meme. All
outside
right,
of
wait,
the
we're
We've got a
skipping this.
small pause here.
It's 3.5 hours long. There might be some pause. Anything went in the Overwatch League. That was the most like scuffed thing I've ever seen in my life. Was 2020. Overwatch League did a great job of actually getting a broadcast going in a short amount of time, with everyone going. What was it? What was it? The Cheese It Crunch. It's a mind crunch that used to just like randomly show up in the middle of team fights.
Something that they can go for. Perhaps they'll start.
I actually, it's worth noting. What I remember asking someone like in production, like, how does this keep happening? Like, it's obviously a meme. It's obviously funny. How does it keep happening? Apparently, one of their like switches that like changed scenes or did something was like that advertisement was also attached to it. So every time they pressed that button, it would come up or something like that. But it was wild.
But here comes Sparkle. Blade, the hold was there, but Immortality
And that's why we were always getting mind crunch in the middle of things. That was just nothing to do. You can't do anything with that. Oh my god! Oh, nice. Coach gun by Carpe.
This one, though. Hanbin using the gravitic flux takes out Fury.
That made Genji so strong. Does anyone remember? Like, why was Genji so good? And they... Something else in the neutral fight. So he wasn't just like a blade bot anymore. And that's why everyone ended up playing Genji in this meta.
Hold on here around the work with here.
Those were the good days.
It's going to be a super blade, surely. The supercharger from Sada.
They didn't even use the bongo, just the flux in the blade.
1/2/EQO making mincemeat of the opposition. And that is a nice little team fight win. Philadelphia Fusion going to be pleased because Sado didn't even have to use the supercharger. He still got it for the next push.
Kind of
he admitted it to us in confidence, which I'm just going to ruin. But he admitted that he cheated in the baking competition.
With BenBest. I don't know whether
he let his wife help him.
It's more about putting Carpe in the best position to find a clutch pick early on.
He said it on my stream. Oh, really? Oh, okay, well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Bongo Blade, Super Blade. Oh, and he's...
immediately going to be sent in as well.
Dude, Carpe doesn't give a fuck.
Pixie getting the better of him in that engagement.
Yeah, they're in trouble. Dude, Paris Eternal are getting kind of rolled right here. They're getting like no value of their ultimates compared to Fusion.
Deleting BenBest means that this card will continue to move forward now. Philadelphia Fusion with a lot of opportunities here, but Paris Eternal are getting the respawners back, so it's a dangerous scenario to keep pushing.
It is dangerous, but if Carpe can be able to position himself on a high ground, then he's essentially uncontested. It's so difficult. Oh, that's going to knock up a couple
Sparkle
of
follows through. Carpe gets Exy though, is so bad. They got Rally. I don't know how broken Rally is at this point either. Looks pretty broken. Everyone's getting like a bajillion armor. And nobody is dying. What is happening? Nobody's losing health. My man's just dashing and slashing and nobody's losing any health. Oh!
Are you kidding me, Exy?
That's a huge pick.
Right then and there.
I've seen enough. Okay, anyone who... There's so many shields, so much healing, and so much armor.
In this attack. He has found opening picks time and time again to set the Philadelphia Fusion up into 5v6.
That is fun. It kind of feels like, what's the mode? Total Mayhem? It kind of feels like Total Mayhem these days.
Sparker's just trying to deny it from them, as you can see. He's trying to take
oh, that's way too early of a window.
Goes for the dash. Does not quite connect. It's so low, but the heals are there. Now the dynamite applied. Sparkle has to
the Total Mayhem game, like when Overwatch 2 first came out. Never again. Pretty good bomb.
The dynamite just missed. Sparkle going for the reset here. Gravitic flux.
Good lamp. FD God needs to get this rally up. What is this? A window for ants?
Couple of abilities forced out here.
All right, rally coming out.
Strong, but now
yeah, FD God's rally kind of got forced too early. Oh!
Oh! BenBest to try and clean things up. Does Infinite.
All right.
Really, that began with the clutch boot.
But what is Brig this patch? I think the problem back then that Brig was still having is that the armor was still ticking up. Like, armor was still crazy. Like, I don't think... Yeah, she also has 250 health at this point. Well, 200 health. Gotta remember, Sparkle's a D-tier tracer. I'm gonna defend myself, okay? Now that we're going back into I would call it D-tier because my man never played tracer. Primarily because when he came into the league, he was playing with Paris Eternal, so Soon always played the tracer. Copium. Oh.
He's down, but Carpe gets the better of his counterpart.
Carpe just has infinite bobs. People, oh, dude, this is also, oh god, look at this fucking eyesore. Look at this. This is the pack. Why we're in a Genji meta. Think about how ridiculous that is. You would pack someone and they would get 50 over armor.
Very low.
Oh,
going
God.
down, EQO with the blade! Shut down, Hambin puts him away, and now it's Sparkle.
The bash, oh, God.
HP, not enough to try and put in the work. Philadelphia Fusion may be able to turn this one now. Moving forward, the Holt is perfect.
Rally's
So
just
much
a little
damage being
too late,
prompted in the
yeah.
aggression From Fury. Knocks Hambin out.
I think permanent armor went away in 2019. Do you guys remember, what was it? 325 health Zenyatta when the Zen had, how much health did Zen have at this point? But then you could rally full gen and they would get like 350, the good times, and you would never lose armor.
Honestly, this was the Carpe show, because I think if Carpe didn't get that,
Yo, I remember this match, Overwatch League on Disney XD.
A very difficult scenario, I don't want to call it unwinnable, into a 3 capture. So wonderful stuff from the Fusion.
I did a couple of times. I saw a match one time. Yeah, I don't know anyone.
Philadelphia Fusion did better than
I did. That was a thing. Yeah, they, like we were on like ESPN like 9 and on Disney XD, and that was like the worst thing you could do in 2018, 2019, 2020 because we're on Disney XD. You swear on Disney XD, you get in a lot of fucking trouble. But these days it's like, you can swear, we don't give a fuck. Like, no, we don't have sponsors, we don't have any broadcast deals, we got nothing. You could swear for your hearts. We can't hurt the kids' virgin ears on Disney XD. You did watch it on XD once? Oh wow, there you go. Alright, same compositions once again.
Again, that slightly different style. But yeah,
I think I prefer the Carpe Ashe over the Widow. I think the ultimate's better for the Bob in these team fights.
20. I mean, clearly there is an
I don't think that Xy's get. Oh yeah, wait, Lastro got fined like $1,000 for saying "sex big dick" in Check's chat. Oh, what a game! Honestly, so many good moments.
I think in this fight, they're not going to wait for a rally or a supercharger. He just builds them too fast. He's ahead of his Batiste.
Striker also, yeah, but Striker said something.
So EQO as well.
Striker like doubled down. Striker was like, "Fuck it, I know what I'm doing." Dude, the pull into the blade is wild. Ooh. There we go.
Sparkle with 2 kills. In the slightest.
Now that was a classic, our classic moment. Oh, the best of times. The best of times. The blurst of times.
It just works when you have a player like Sparkle, a Rookie of the Year candidate who came into the season midway through and has revitalized the Paris.
Yo, where's my spectator go?
But every single moment he's played has been incredible.
EQO just gets destroyed through the window.
EQO, which I think was reflected. I think he used his deflect to kill EQO with the damage through Boombox's own.
The new version of this is Terra Surge and Blade, yeah. But at least Terra Surge is an ultimate. Remember, what was it? Holt used to be on like a 10-second cooldown. Remember, all you had to do as an Orisa player, back then, all you had to do, this is how you become GM or one of the best Orisa players in the world. Put your shield in the right spot, shoot in the general direction, and cool when you're about to pull. That's all you have to do. Just pulling, shield down, shooting their shield,
such a deadly team.
Pulling, shooting, shield down, bongo. Wow, this guy's the best Orisa player in the world. That was like 6 seconds. It was crazy, and it used to be so optimistic.
And there was a supercharger down, so Sparkle decides to clutch.
Yeah, and Holt was huge. Like, it was huge back then.
That's a little bit too far.
Like, it was 2018 was the meta, pulled pork, where you would just pull, and it was so big that you could pull people above the shield, and then the Roadhog would hook. The only way you could avoid it was either way.
They've got double support to work with, but Philly are miles ahead here, and this is looking good for a long hold of point B.
Oh, wow.
Takes out Boombox immediately.
Dude, these hit-scan players are just moving around the map for free.
Aggressive. As you can see, they've been pressed into the front line of the Paris Eternal. As soon as you lose your Batiste player, you have to make plays like that.
I feel like there's a lot of like weird positioning mistakes that happen. Like, we were very good at it. Was that was a Fate Orisa Space Hog?
Are you kidding me? Okay.
Xe has been ridiculous on this attack. It has been, as much as the focus for both of these teams is on the Genji and that's their style, Xe has taken this attack into his own hands. 3 kills on point A, the flank to open up point B, and now that opening kill too.
Xe did go down.
Alright, we got Blades coming up again. 3.5 minutes. Want to finish with a minute. This was very hard for Philadelphia to finish though. They had like 4 minutes going into the 3rd point. They only finished in OT. I think this defensive position for the defensive Ashe is so good. Plus the defensive backline can just like sort of sit in this cutout. Gets the lamp early. Oh, this is going to be a good blade by Sparkle. With 2 CP in general is that like you saw the blade kills both the backliners, but there's still 2 tanks just sitting up. Like, or like one backliner, but they're like it was back. I also correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they had the respawn mechanics that they do now in Overwatch 2, where you know in overtime especially. But I don't think they had that at this point. So it was pretty hard to cap out a point because like people just spawn in like 8 seconds every time. While these days it's like 12 seconds if you're in overtime at the 3rd point. Yeah, the old Hanamura spells.
Excellent gravitic flux. So much damage being worked with, and he finds 2 kills, which means that this is going to be a dead push immediately for the Paris Eternal.
2 minutes left for them.
Yeah, for people who don't know the old stalls on Hanamura, before there was even hero restriction, you would just stagger yourself out because there's the animation of getting out of the mech and everyone used to have these giga huge defense matrix. You could literally permanently stall by just calling when the next D.Va was going to go onto the point. And then you would eventually get D.Va bombs. And then once you got the D.Va bombs, like if you kill like 1 person, you would probably just win the fight. And you could literally stall infinitely. I don't know if I like this XC switch over to the Widow. I guess they're just hoping for a couple of picks, but I think it's going to be so hard to get angles. There was a lot of ultimates by Fusion to get no kills. I guess it forces out the rally of FD God.
So this rally still gives him survivability, even though
the Paris Eternal, they just roll it in. 1 minute.
They did get him down to 53 seconds though, so that both teams are going to. Sig 9, yeah. Oh, this is a good flex. I think Dallas threw the bag at them. Or I also think what might have happened is I think Dallas dropped the bag on Rush.
Paris had managed to capture with over 1 minute left.
Well, good. Like they didn't keep Ben Best, any of the Frenchies and stuff. They literally just sold all their players for parts. So Dallas bought Paris Eternal. Like Rush is the head coach of Paris Eternal. Like Hanbin is being coached by Rush for like ever at this point.
How many grand finals?
And Fielder as well, right? So, and then they just bought. Yeah, Dallas Fielder just bought Paris Eternal.
Almost come close many times, but they've never came away with.
Because after this is when they Oni God.
The world as well. There's a lot of pressure on
Vestola
to perform and actually go to the overtime. I believe it only adds.
I think Valiant was pretty cheap mode. No, Valiant was Oh no, this was cheap mode actually. This was cheap mode Valiant because that's when I had the leak that they were selling all of our players. It's like we already knew that was happening. Fate went to Florida Mayhem. Oh no, that had already happened in 2019.
The overtime spawns are going to mean a long push.
I can't remember what happened to all the other players. Soon went to Paris.
A lot of pressure on Paris to.
Yeah, this 2020 season was like Kai, Shax, McGregor. Like they were still trying, but they weren't. They were pulling back on like they were paying like a lot in 20. Oh, overtime. Clean up here, yeah.
Using the blade, moving into the back line, has to deflect, but he's gonna find his.
Yeah, agility's to Defiant with Carib. That's true. Yeah, Izayaki to Shanghai. Yeah, like Valiant was essentially just trading all their players that were on big contracts. They essentially tried to trade them for the bag. No, I didn't, unfortunately, because I retired. I didn't collect the bag because I think what happened is going into 2019, LA Valiant signed a lot of us on 2+1s, or yeah, I think it was 2+1s. So I think a lot of us had guaranteed contracts in 2020, so they couldn't even like not renegotiating with the players or letting the players explore options elsewhere. They kind of had to trade them. Yeah, 2020 was like McGravy, Gig, and that kind of stuff. They were budget, like they were like less, I guess, named players. But that's their coach.
Allowed themselves to get behind in the ult fight.
You remember how Paris won it last time? It was.
I like that team. It was a good team.
Honestly, Hanbin's gravitic flux pulling them into the air. Xe getting 3 pickoffs off the back.
All right, go to 4 points.
And you can see Xe now on the Widowmaker once more. Try and do it again for his team. See if he can strike gold. Has to be forced.
2 minutes. Paris should be able to do this. Yeah, last year, Demo.
Team's rotating around here. You can see him taking aggressive angles. This flanking style that he's been playing, but he's being jumped on here by Sparkle.
Oh my God, Dynamite's huge.
Pulse coming through, Sparkle.
Dude, everyone's just so clumped up all the time. And so the pools are just enormous.
1 HP has to use the deflect and dash defensively. Moving back
Oh god, the dash. Look at that dash. Just a consistent 4 to 5 player dashes. They have window, but they shouldn't use it. Yeah, it's over.
Finally, the team are going to start to go down. Fusion punished them, winning the team fight.
This is the first VOD. Yeah, this is the first match in this new series that I'm putting on YouTube.
Previous round as well. Oh, the Trip Sparkle's blade and force a team fight, and EQO punishes them from behind, combining with the rest of his team to pinch and get the opening kill. For Paris, the way that they opened up point A previously was with Exi getting an opening kill and 3 in the fight, but now he's on McCree.
Yeah, moving over to the McCree for whatever reason. Feels like it's better suited for Fusion's comp. Doesn't feel confident.
It forces EQO.
I know, it's like, it's just a match at this point. That's so huge because they rally bladed as well.
The Paris Eternal, they got to stay alive here. Are they even going to have a chance to contest this?
Only 8 seconds left, and Sparkle, he's moved his way over to the Tracer to try and get back to the point in time. Hanbin has a flux as he attempts to set something up, but they're pushing into double tank ults.
Overtime was triggered in the end there by Sparkle as he moved on to the point. Gravitic Flux used by Fury, now searching for the perfect spot.
Oh, wow. That's, oh, after you go get Sado.
Do not tell me the Paris Eternal are about to clutch.
There's no way.
Ring around the rosies, trying to find these headshots, but not quite when the shields are in the way.
No, yeah, they're not.
The whip shot puts
close.
Sparkle, and that will be that.
Yes, that we used to have. Look at us, we're so young and impressionable.
But it worked out really.
Genjis have been the focal point. I really feel like this is going to come down to Carpe versus Exi.
In a lot of these duels, it really has, actually, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of these
Back when they had solid ads. Yo, remember when we had T-Mobile? Yes, let's watch 2CP. We all love 2CP here, right? Big fans of 2CP.
EQO's job is to try and, distract Exi and take away his attention so that Carpe can pop off.
Yeah, Super Genji was 2021.
Come down to these hitscan players. Exi versus Carpe, rookie versus veteran. And we're heading now into Volskaya. The teams are rolling out. The Paris Eternal going to be on the attacking side.
It wasn't 2020. Super Genji 2021.
Not getting any value, but they do get a lot of space here. You can see Paris
right?
rotating around.
It was 2020 against Bot. Was it? Shock losing the semifinals or something like that to these teams because they didn't have a great Genji? And didn't they end up like not playing Genji at the very end or some shit? I can't remember exactly what happened.
Exi a little bit too out of line, maybe trying to get the kill.
Oh wow.
To get the trade.
Rascal played Genji for bits and pieces. Yeah. Because Rascal should have been playing Genji the whole time, but we're always really confused why Super was playing it. You're right.
All the way into Paris Eternal, just trying to kill these stragglers. They do just start building.
I think you're right. Yeah, they played Ash Tracer in the end. Yeah.
I know that you said earlier that you're confident that Sparkle's going to get the better end of EQO. Would it surprise you to know that EQO had quite a number of...
I think there was a Genji banner in 2021, yeah. Dude, honestly, we were talking about it earlier on my stream. 2020 and 2021, it's just a blended together. It's just a mind mush of COVID.
Off on the flank where he's finishing off a lot of these kills.
I try to forget those years.
Finishing
2018, but the ult's gonna start.
Dude, I'm getting like PTSD watching these walk-ups of the corner, walking up into multiple chokes, people on the high grounds.
Not really necessary when the rest of his team is there pumping in the damage. It's going to be a nice little setup there for the Philadelphia.
Yeah, he played one map in 2021, yeah.
And I just got to note again, Exi moving over to the McCree to try and handle EQO a little bit more. Give him that
Can't even see what's happening. Yeah, that's kind of Overwatch 1 in a nutshell, especially with double tank, right? Like, everyone's just so stacked up in this version of the game. Like, look at all those health bars. Like, look at what we're looking at here. It's just
really don't like
so much stuff.
Because it leaves from long distance with the McCree. I mean, the guy is good. Don't get me wrong, Exi might be capable of that, but it's not a consistent strategy to put pressure on Carpe. And if you leave Carpe open to do his own business, then you better have
Oh, that's a good flux by Hanbin. It's kind of like, Rally was kind of like a Transcendence where you kind of just can't kill people through it. All Hanbin.
Forward, but Sado will fall.
Wow, I can't believe Hanbin didn't die for that. Far Mercy on this map was torture. Do you miss 6v6? Not at all. I think 5 make tanks fun or interesting while there are 2 of them in the game.
To cause his terror, impose his will upon the opponents. Paris and Hanbin in particular found a really nice angle for a Gravitic Flux, and the follow-up from Sparkle was perfect. Is there any potential for a snowball to develop here? 3.5 minutes, Sparkle with a blade. They can try and push the Philadelphia Fusion back with an Amp Matrix and then get room for Sparkle to blade here. There isn't really
people like to remember. Yeah, people are always going to remember the good times with that, and less so the bad times. That was a terrible blade.
And Exi falls. Nice
I think
dash
it's just my
through.
life, just like
Throw in
sitting
the
under
back
this
line.
bridge, hoping my tank
Take
wouldn't
them out.
die,
What was
and just
looking like such a
hoping we
good
had enough
scenario,
ultimates to
but
live.
Perfectly played by the Philadelphia Fusion.
Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. And then, like, Widowmaker players had the craziest sightlines.
Wanting to go for a blade because the Philadelphia Fusion played really spread there. A great counter to the Dragon Blade.
I miss working together. Yeah, like, as I said, like, working together as tanks. Definitely a lot of fun things about double tank, but, like,
blades are going to be absolutely pivotal.
it's just too hard.
Doesn't get a kill.
Like, look at these double shield. Like, there's no way Paris Eternal could do enough damage to push them off that.
Does not connect. As you can see, Paris, they tried to go for something there.
Look at EQO again. Look at that positioning on the right-hand side
So
from
hidden.
this camera.
No one knows he's there.
Miles away.
No one knows he's there. Gravitic Cloak is going to be used.
Oh, good
This
rock.
is where they want to be going in.
Yeah,
They go
and-
back.
And think about AQO's flank there. He forces out the immortality.
Also,
fields
people
just
like
by
to
playing
talk
the
about the
assassin
synergy of
style
tanks.
Genji.
Of like,
And if you
oh, I
force
love
out
my
the
tank
immortality field,
synergy.
you can go
No
back
one
with
queued
blade.
tank.
If it
Tank
had been
was
needed,
such a long
then
queue
EQO
time
would've-
every
would've
single
wiped.
game.
How
I love
does
my
EQO
tank
start
synergy, and then
against
everyone
Warlord
proceeds
with
to
the one?
never
It's
play tank.
super intelligent.
So cool to see the stylistic differences as well between these two teams. Really playing out. Carpe, he's got his ultimate. It's enough to really disrupt as well and contest the point if they need it. Because you can see Paris Eternal going for a split approach here.
It's because the tank partner was always Roadhog. Yeah, everyone always forgets.
Mortality Field going to be keeping them
Spark
alive,
and
but
EQ is pretty big.
destroyed, but not before Spark
Bob's
doesn't
good.
finish
It's like a
EQO.
stalling Bob, right?
That might be crucial. If EQO is down, they don't have to worry about their backline being attacked. And Paris can now focus 100% forwards. The Rally Blade and the Supercharger is going to follow.
Here he
What can
comes.
Sparkle get done?
That's it, the blade comes
Yeah,
out,
damage
and
is
that's
done.
given so
EQO
much
needs to
space
go
for his team
nuts here
work
to
with
be able to
EQO.
save this, but I don't
Answers
think
with
he
his
can.
own, but he cannot find any targets.
Wow, how did he
Has
not
to try
die?
just- This mechanical warlord. Just able to just
I
find
wish
these opening
Temple was
picks,
back.
able
Alright,
to
chat,
just
what
get
was your
anything
favorite
done.
2CP
And it
map?
is just
Okay,
Paris now
obviously,
taking what's theirs.
it doesn't matter, like,
Philadelphia
how much you hate
Fusion, they tried to
2CP,
go
but I
with
feel like
the
this is a
stalling
very,
tactics, but
like,
not enough. 42 seconds is what
divided
Paris have
topic.
claimed in their time.
Because, like, a lot of people love Hanamura.
Great punish.
Some
from
people
Paris
love
Eternal.
Anubis.
EQO has been hiding on those flanks.
I
the
think my
entire
favorite
time,
was-
and Paris eventually managed to catch him out. It took Exi moving over to the
I think my
McCree.
favorite
It
was
took
Hanamura
Sparkle trying
as
to
well.
landmark him, and finally,
I hate
The dash
Horizon
melee
Lunar
is
Colony. I
so
would
stylish
rather,
deflect.
I would rather put my
Oh,
hand in a
so
blender
good
than
in
play
his
Horizon
work
Lunar
in this battle. I
Colony
mean,
again.
Genji
Yeah,
was
you
one of
guys
the
are off the
primary
fucking
reasons
goop.
that I just fell in love with Overwatch, and to just see him being played all the time.
And Paris is just like, if you say Paris, you're just trolling. Paris was like, you can't even say, oh, you know, subjectively, it was kind of fun. It was just such a bad fucking map.
It's been a matter
The
of weeks.
entire thing, the first point was walking through the most narrow choke you've ever seen in your fucking life, while the defensive team has a Mercy could go over. It was, oh man. And the second point was just
Absolutely bonkers.
stupid. It just didn't make any
Knowledge of how
sense.
long his dashes
They,
are,
there were so
his
many
timing of
options
all
that
of
it
his
kind of felt like
abilities,
you
and
had
his
no
aim to be
options.
able to combo up his shurikens as well.
And the spawn was
Mechanical
so
warlord
far
is a
away.
lot
Oh
for this
god,
team.
what a bad map.
4 minutes, that's what the Fusion have got against the Vancouver Titans when they were playing.
Alright, I like the Widowmaker here from
They know
XE.
exactly the
I
right
like,
targets
you know, we've been going back and forth on the XC Carpe Ash Widow duel,
building up his ult.
but I actually like the Widow here because, like, long sight lines, it has to be on EQO to try and close that distance, but it's kind of hard. Like, you would think, like, oh, the Genji can go assassinate the Widow. Back in these days, like, the Brig range to pack the Widow was so far, and it just did so much. The Widow gets packed, you just kind of loses the Genji.
Teams are kind of
Oh!
Oh my!
Nasty.
Okay, XC finds the opening, and there's a lot of spray down. Sparkle with the deflect as
Oh,
well.
God.
I think so too.
Just too much damage.
Amplification Mage is going to be used here. Bembes falls. No more main tank for the Paris Eternal. Nothing to really stop this damage being pumped into them. And Carpe in the off angles. Look at him go. 2 kills for him. 3 in total if you think about it. And that is going to be a quick point A capture.
Paris just went through another 5-map banger, yeah. This, like, tournament in general, this Summer Showdown was one of the best tournaments of all time. Like, best stages.
For the Philadelphia Fusion.
So now 5.5 minutes, they still have Rally.
30% of his blade, but Carpe continues to come up with the goods in the tank line for the Phila Fusion. Rock
Yeah,
solid as
EQO
ever.
literally did
But
nothing.
now they have
He
to
is
deal with Sparkle on the
30%
defense.
overcharge.
Sparkle point B defense as Genji has so far been.
Remember Hide the Sim TP meta? Not a lot of people remember that. That's like 2017, right?
Here he goes, Josh. Here he goes. The blade is going to be used.
Oh.
Kill is more than often enough.
Is one kill and the rally got used as well, is the thing. Like, rally was such a big defensive tool because it was like the only defensive ultimate you had, right? Window isn't really a defensive ultimate, especially not at this time.
The next one. Because often what Sparkle does is he blades.
I missed the kill, but it still baffles me. Wow, another great shot by Exi. It still baffles me that I don't know why they removed that. It was just objectively a good part of the UI.
Exi, the same way that Carpe is for the Fusion. Sometimes he can just have those moments of brilliance where he pops off, but Fusion now with a ton of ultimates to work with here. Paras play aggressively, going to use their Gravitic Flux, and that's going to force out the Immortality Field, but it gets destroyed instantly here. Carpe going for a flank, he has the armor pack. The second one, the Accretion going to be stopping him.
Nice play by Harmbin.
Trading it out, but
it's probably not going to matter. Fusion probably just capped this.
Complete control at this point with so much time to work with. Just looking like a Fusion dub right now.
The Ben Best Wrecking Ball thing of legends.
Over to the Wrecking Ball. The Immortality Field keeps him up for a brief moment. Exi now over onto the Tracer as well, just to see if he can get
Stole.
prioritization.
Sparkle has a blade, but
classic.
It's not looking like a possibility here.
I see no world in which the Paras Eternal are able to do this one. And finally, the Fusion, they cap it up. A beautiful amount of time there. And this map is looking...
Mr. Stalling one bit, yeah, it was real bad. And I think that is the respawn change that we had in the past where you got wiped. They didn't have that. These days, it's like if you're standing on the point or the objective and they die in like the third point, then the respawn is longer because you're like on the objective, so you essentially have control and it stops like the stalling plus the overtime. Took us off Herman Millers and they're like, yeah, we have a zip chair sponsor, so you guys now have to sit on the stage in zip chairs instead of Herman Millers. And players were like, nuh-uh.
Well, you know,
I refuse.
Get much play time, but he's coming in playing the Genji for them, and he's coming alive. It's beautiful to see.
All right, Sparkle and EQO vying over this high ground for a moment as Exi is escorted up to his perch, where he's going to continue to try and find opening picks on the outside.
Paras Eternal only have one fight. They have to hope they can get Exi out here.
But this time, yeah, there's only 25 seconds left.
And then look at this, AQO trying to find his opening pick. Great hold onto the low ground. Also, the Immortality Field, he stopped the Fusion. They will not be denied. And that is going to be
here comes the Harmbin Wrecking Ball.
We've seen every now and then the Fusion are going to be happy with that. And now they have 3.5 minutes essentially.
Gaming chairs suck, yeah. Gaming chairs are like, I'll say it. Most gaming chairs are just for scams. Like these ones, these Secret Lab ones are pretty good. But like, you guys remember, what is it, the DX races? DX races were terrible.
Shadow's another player where 2020 has been.
Are DX races still around?
He came in and he made the grand finals in 2018.
Remember how many?
Like they're better than like most simple chairs, but for the price point.
They all wanted him gone. Everyone wanted
him
him gone. Yep, he was feeded. This guy. He just needed a fresh team around him, a little more support, a team with more coordination.
This thing is brought to you by Secret Lab. Hey, Secret Lab, if you want to sponsor me, hit me up. I'll sell your chairs. I'll sell you on some gaming chairs.
Fusion now on a precipice.
So the website's still up. Yeah, there you go. I have an Amazon chair. Would not recommend. Yeah, I was in an IKEA chair for the longest time.
That's all they have to get. The whole Accretion misses, but the rotation here, as you can see, Philly just taking.
This game has made you be like, yeah, that's what I want to play again.
Exi on the McCree. Again, I cannot say that I'm a fan. It has been working out for them. It worked against the Shock, and it's worked.
The only people that look like they're having fun are the hit scans and the Genji players.
Space to Carpe.
This is what every DPS misses. They're like, dude, I can't do anything. That's because this is when they literally just did everything. The Genji literally just runs into the middle of the team, just starts pulling people, and he just gets a pack.
Oh, breaking his ankles, but it matters not because Carpe off on the flank. Maybe a little bit too far forward, gets taken out, and that has put an end to the push here. Holt, as you can see, Paras are trying to take full advantage of this.
Oh, good old Flashbang. Let's bring Flashbang back. You guys remember loving Flashbang? Let's love me some Flashbang action.
Exi takes him out with a quick little headshot.
Nice work from
I love just not being able to play the game.
Playing against the McCree, I think you should just try and play the long sight lines. But
Flash shadows were my thing, yeah.
There and he has quashed me and my doubts.
Entirely possible.
Oh! Wow.
Oh my goodness, a Deadeye. It takes out one, but EQO instantly dashing into him. Takes him out. And EQO
good hide. Oh, Sutter gets pulled though. Wow, great pull into the window.
They are desperate to just close out this fight as cleanly as possible. They don't want to be losing any more
Rather
fights.
flash over the new stun grenade. I don't know if I
think you
agree
take
with
that
that. I don't
every
think the
time.
new grenade is
I think
that
you take that
good.
every
I think it
time
has
if you're
very
XC.
niche
Sure,
cases.
you're one of your
Flashbang
primary
was
hit scan players
so
dies,
annoying to
but
deal with.
Fury's gone. That's one shield disappeared. And
Realized that they could just like hide in corners. They would just flash, fan the hammer, and then roll away.
Spread, but it does buy his team a lot of space here. Pushes them back, but a well played, a little bit of a defensive maneuver there by Fusion, because now, Josh, look at the ultimates.
This ult
Yeah,
bank, they
Paris
didn't
Eternal
force out
used a
anything
lot of
from the
ultimates
Fusion.
to try and
This is
hold.
where they need players to
Philadelphia
go through.
Fusion
This is
literally
where the clutches
walk in
have
and
to
press
happen.
Q challenge.
And this should be the Fusion's team fight to win. This should be where they close out
Yeah,
this map.
they
Now they've got
literally-
two picks.
they didn't
don't
even need to use
the
many of them.
ultimates. They don't even need the blade. Everyone's deleted. Everyone's destroyed. And that is going to be Volskaya Industries going the way of the Philadelphia Fusion, leading this
If you
series
remove
2-1.
fan the hammer at the top levels, that didn't really matter
What a
though.
spectacular performance from Philly.
All right,
The
2-1,
veteran presences
Philadelphia
of Carpe
Fusion.
and EQO resurrected post a lose. To
All right, watch point Gibraltar. Let's go. Map 4, 2-1 Philadelphia Fusion.
It's much
So
more
no
difficult
smite
to
coming in. So this is a dive map.
first
You know, watch point Gibraltar has been for the longest time. Doesn't look like Philly are going to play. They're going to play the double shield on the high ground. But no smite came in to play the dive for Paris Eternal. Boombox back in. I think yeah, was Boombox in last?
And I'm seeing.
What do they play
the
FD God?
Philadelphia
I can't
Fusion
remember
running
actually.
EQO on Tracer and Boombox on the Batiste for a Batiste BAP double shield. This is not usual for Gibraltar. Normally, this is supposed to lose to what the Paris Eternal are running. I thought we were going to see a mirror here. I was all ready to say, can Boombox stand up on the Ana after not playing it in ages?
Hearing no
But
smite just
instead,
unlocked a
Philly, they're
core
flipping the
memory.
script
Oh
and
my
they got the
god.
Tracer on Gibraltar. It's going to be really difficult. I think.
Yeah,
for
I
EQO
don't
to
like
find
this
value
Tracer
on
at
this
all from
Tracer.
EQO.
It's
Why
hard
like
to
why
pick up
wouldn't
on
you
the
just
high
play
ground.
Genji with what you're currently playing? I don't really understand the Tracer pick.
because he's up against the double shield comps. And it's hard on a normal day, but these angles are quite narrow. And look at this, EQO in the backline just harassing him out. You can take him out here. EQO's in a bit of trouble though. It's kind of blue. EQO goes down.
Boombox was in
Not
last
a
map.
role that
Okay,
he's
so
known
yeah,
for, the Tracer.
looks
He has
like
occasional
Funny
flashes
Astro
in the
only
past,
played
but he's not a
on Li
powerhouse
Jiang, and he's
Tracer
probably only
like
aimed to play the
Carpe
Reinhardt, right? The
you know,
rush
like
compositions.
Soon or these kind of players that are these two teams could field, and that's opened up a lot of space now.
Ooh, that's a lot of
Paris
damage.
Eternal could just charge on in.
Interesting to see an Ana from Fielder as well, but I guess they're playing the Winston dive. They want to play the Nano Winston or Nano Blade. Oh!
Trying to build it up.
Just
That was a
slept the
great
Tracer.
backline. That was EQO slept up.
That was
It's
a
gonna be
sick,
an insta-kill for
sick
him.
sleep.
Fielder turning up once again. And now it's time for Nozma using that primal rage.
Double rally, nobody
Find any
dies.
sort of targets.
Nano
Lock him in
Blade!
the corner.
Oh,
Sparkle
everybody
sets him up,
dies.
Knocks him down. 2 kills. It's realistically all he needs to try and win this fight out.
Fielder's playing on ping. Yeah, Fielder's
That
playing
shows
on
how much
200
he
ping at
does
this point. He's
respect
playing from
Carpe.
Korea.
Not enough to try and
Is
listen
it from home? Or maybe he came through it the very end? I can't remember exactly, but...
Maybe it's because Boombox doesn't want to play the Ana, and the Ana is so pivotal. when
Is it a
comes
hot take to say
Gibraltar.
Fielder is the go flex support? I think it
I
is
don't think
because
Philly are gonna
I
have
think
much success
a
here.
lot of
The
people
high
think
ground
Violet is the
control
goat
is
of all
all in favor
time,
of
so it's
Paris.
kind of
They're gonna
hard
be
to
building up
justify that
the-
it's not
the
Violet.
Nano Blades really quickly here. Philly have got their hands full just being able to maintain high ground.
Gets
High ground.
Evaporate. I don't even know how FD God gets
Paris have the higher high ground.
Yeah, they're just
That's on
jumping
top.
on top of them.
the higher high
Dramatic
ground.
Flux is gonna be used by
They don't have
Fury,
enough
and it's
healing to
gonna
live through
even
this
it
flux.
out
That
as
was a
Nozma
sick
goes
flux by
down.
Fury.
A necessary commitment when it comes to that fight. They needed to expend something to try and turn it in their favor because it was looking disastrous.
Did I just say the greatest of all time?
It's
Of
a
all time?
great
The
ultimate
goat of all
match
time.
that
He's
allows
my
them
goat of all
a bit
time.
More control. Oh, Hanbin getting staggered a bit there, but it's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things. Still just
The
under
superior
400.
higher ground.
Exi going over to the McCree. Again, just showcasing this comfort pick hero for him that he uses to help deal with the Tracer flanks in the
It was
back.
kind of interesting no one playing the
EQO
Cassidy at this time.
Nowhere near as scary an opponent as Striker, who he already got the better of earlier on in the day. But I think this is going to come down to a Nano Blade.
I miss the
10%
Philly.
away
Dude,
from
Philly
both
Fusion
Sparkle and
was
Field.
probably one of the most popular teams
Banana Blade.
of the time. Because they had a lot of like, oh, I don't know about that counter pin by FD God. That was dangerous.
Be falling down to very low amounts of HP. Sparkle
Because they were so good in the inaugural seasons, they had very marketable players.
Trying to avoid it, but he's going to get healed up now, and the Blade just moments away. Fusion, they need to get a
Oh,
pick
wow,
up
that was almost a great
early
pull
to
rock. You
try
see
and
that?
stop this. You see the Halt Accretion was used, and that's
Nano
one less to deal with.
Blade!
Sparkle coming in now with the Blade. It's a Nano Blade. He's got another dash, and now he wants to go in. Great stun, great timing.
Dude, people just don't die. During this time, it's actually crazy how little people die. There's so much like protection and support.
So smart. His brain is so wrinkly, man. You watch Sparkle play, and he's using his
What a call,
deflect
bro.
on a Brigitte to avoid getting whip shot, so they can use his dash at the perfect distance. Spawners, because a lot of Philadelphia Fusion got the front spawn there.
Hey up, a little bit of jukes going on here. As you can see, Fury using the gravitic flux.
Has to use the
just
flux to stay
survive.
alive. Oh, did he get a
Couple
Diva
of
Bomb
players
thrown at
up.
him?
The Fusion, they want to fight this one. It's going to be traded out evenly, though. The South-Destruct takes out Boombox. Trying to take advantage of the forward.
Think of
squad.
legends.
Fusion out of position. But Fusion somehow getting away with very minimal casualties.
But at the end of the day, what really changes? Paris continued to move the payload, and Fusion had to use a couple of ults.
Oh, that was
it
pretty bad
worth
by
it?
Harmon.
Yeah, because it stopped a huge amount of momentum for Paris. But is it still good for Philly? No, because Paris are going to come back in with the Nanoblade here and have a great opportunity of finishing out this fight.
Now we see Carpe moving over to the McCree just to try and stop Sparkle in his tracks. We've got two of potentially the best McCree players in the world facing off here. Exi, who's making a name for himself earlier on in the year, and he's playing against the OG, the
Hey, yo.
veteran. And that's why Carpe is known as one of the best McCrees in the world. Shutting down Sparkle before he can get anything done, but the next fight, they're going to have that Nanoblade.
The fact that Carpe has that
You still say
does
Kree out
give
of
them
habit? No,
extra tools to
I've
be
pretty
able
much
to
fully
work.
transitioned to cast.
They're playing into Brigitte Bash.
But I kind of like
Immortality
internally
Fury,
cringe when I hear Kree these days, but obviously they're
and
calling
now
him McCree because
additionally,
he was
the
McCree at this
flashbang.
time.
So if Sparkle's able to get value with this Nanoblade,
Genji double cheeked out. Yo, Genji just sort of out here.
we've already seen him do it against similar level teams so far.
All right, Nanoblade, what do we got?
He wants to go in, he's got an armor pack, and that is going to be where to go button is
Oh, I
pressed.
like the high
Watch
noon
out,
counter.
build to
Oh
the
my god,
backline,
this...
stunned,
Yeah,
bashed
Carpe
up.
literally
You
just
can't
doesn't
get
have to do anything.
done with it.
That was really well
Fusion,
played by
they play
Philly
it
Fusion and
perfectly.
Carpe.
They walk backwards, they lay down the amplification.
He just has to
Sparkle
hold the...
realizes that it would fence
Yeah.
from the Fusion.
The dead eye as well from Kai, and Sparkle just can't
Wow.
approach it. Sparkle dashed in front and fielded there and activated his defense.
Best use of Deadeye, unironic. Yeah, it's literally one of the best zoning tools in the game. Just kind of hard to get value from that zoning.
Honestly, this McCree change.
I think
if
that
it's
was a
able to
force of a
actually stop
Nanoblade.
Sparkle, you have
So
stopped
no smite
Paris.
goes over to the Orisa. They have to go back to the double shield for this third point, which makes sense. It's a lot more linear than the other ones.
Mortality field to save them. Fusion just rolling over their opposition.
Yeah, Fusion actually rolling.
And only a minute remains for the Paris Eternal to make something happen.
Double shield was so sleepy, yeah. It was like...
And the
It was
Paris
so
Eternal
bad,
got
especially
back
on
to
like
this
2CP
double
and stuff like that,
shield
where people just held chokes. Ooh,
backline.
ooh,
Now
ooh.
that they don't feel
Wow, that was good
comfortable
awareness
with
by,
Sparkle's
Exi.
Nanoblade clutching, they're forced to seek different win conditions. And their win condition now is just that Exi will win the long-range hit scan duel. Whether or not he kills Carpe... Oh, and Carpe has actually made the change back.
Ooh.
over.
What a stick, what a
stick.
play! EQO finding that one. Carpe making the switch over to the Widowmaker just to assert his dominance. And this is the Fusion that was promised. Finding their footing.
Yeah, this
Only
is so
30
hard for
seconds
Paris to
now
attack.
For Paris Eternal.
Like, and this is one of the things that I really disliked about Double Shoot is it kind of just feels like the offensive team is just bashing their head against the wall, like hoping for a pick, waiting for ults to come up and all that kind of stuff.
The McCree, he proves that he can shut down Sparkle's Nanoblades. Paris are forced to adapt. Exi goes over to the
I think Brig was the hero that brought Overwatch to its worst moment. I agree, and I think a lot of other people would agree with you as well. I know a lot of people who stopped playing around Brig because Brig kind of removed a lot of the fun out of the game. Because things just stopped dying, right? Obviously, Brig enabled this double shield setup as well. Just made it feel like nothing ever died and just like an endless does not die. Like, it was common.
Now forced to try and go sicko mode. Moving onto the flanks, but he's being pressured as well.
Oh shit!
Supercharger
Sparkle
out on the
Doomfist,
ground.
DPS Doomfist.
Don't stop this man. It doesn't feel like they can.
Sheesh!
Sparkle
Reminding me of how
able to
fucking
cap it up.
stupid it was. Don't you miss that? Dude, now,
absurd.
these days, it's
It
just a
takes
longer.
a
I'm still
certain
getting
kind of
fucked
roster
the
to
exact
clutch out
same
and
way.
tank the kills they have ever
He
really be a
Instead
factor
of the
outside
Doofus
those
player
clutch
just
scenarios
finishing
where Sparkle
instantly,
comes up huge there.
there's a bit of
The question
foreplay,
now, though,
you
is
know? A little bit of
Paris
foreplay
have
of like,
essentially been
ooh,
gifted an
power
opportunity
me
to
up,
win
and then
this
you
match.
power it on,
What's
he's like,
looking good for
thank
them,
you, and then
Paris,
later he comes and
attack
fists
was
you in the
stunted a
face.
lot.
and you
Philly
just
are still
die
looking
and
really
cry
strong.
about it and
It's
blame
a little
everyone
bit
else
stumbled
for
towards the end, but generally
and parrying the
speaking,
punch.
That worked out far better
I
than
agree with you. Just have some of the most heinous takes.
Now it's a new dawn, a new day.
It makes you think you have a chance. Yeah, exactly.
Going to be coming out with their double shield comp. EQO back on the Tracer. Paris Eternal not willing to go up this high ground.
DBS Doom was
Holding on to it.
awful.
And the Card's gonna steadily
He could one-shot you with the punch. Remember that.
rotate up onto
But
the
he could
high
also
ground
one-shot
themselves.
you with the
Big Bayonetta
uppercut.
gets
He would
onto
E down and then uppercut.
Tank's forced to play a little bit more passive on the Fusion side of things. But it is
I like how he feels. They should have tried reworking Rissa. I don't think it solves any problems.
No Smite and Hanbin. They have to play things perfectly. Keep the Philadelphia
I don't
Fusion
think there
stuck
is
in
a
the
fix
choke
to
points,
it.
also can build
It
up
was
build as Nana boost.
the
And this
issues
Nana
of
blade is now
66
gonna
are
be
accentuated
online.
by
This is the
Orisa
role
by
for Paris
Brig, but
Eternal.
I don't think they
Delay for the Nana
solved the
Blade,
problem.
and let's
Nana
Sparkle
Blade?
clutch.
He didn't have the blade. That's how much trust they have in Sparkle, and the damage he's put in is more than enough.
Well, that wasn't great Blade considering.
Philadelphia
But there's
Fusion,
so
they do
much
answer back.
CC,
Sparkle
man.
is shut down.
That Genji's actually just
Trying to make these
getting
minor adaptations, learning
destroyed
when the
from all
timing's gonna be up
sides.
When Sparkle has the blade, and they know how to play around it a little bit better now as the series progresses. So Fusion have been given an opening.
We're just nostalgic and also don't like
That's a huge
5v5. I think if we
great
went
shutdown
back and
play on
played
the star player
6v6
for
or
Paris
Overwatch
Eternal.
1 with what it
And it's
was
gonna be a
here,
long
people would
time till
remember how
Sparkle
bad
gets
it
the
was,
play back
right?
up.
I
That's
think
a
it's
good
easier to
30
have like
to
rose-tinted
90
glasses about
seconds
how it was back in
where
the day
Philadelphia are gonna be able
because
to
it's
attack
easier to forget
without having to worry
what
about
it used to be and remember
EQO with the beat down.
the good
Pulse one comes
times.
down, but it matters not because it's Carpe the one who claims the kill onto FD God, and that means that Paris they need to play aggressive. But it doesn't matter how aggressive you play because the Fusion will always be ready for you. Beating
Oh,
them.
yeah, looking good on the offense. I would say that he got caught out quite a bit on defense, and it was more to do with Carpe and the tanks keeping the Paris Eternal at bay. But on offense, his job is basically just to push the
I don't really
payload
like this dive. If
and
Paris Eternal don't
harass
hold
the
on this
backlines
second
and
point,
team
it's
fights.
over.
And he's
It's
done
just
that
over.
spectacularly well so far. Sparkle is really struggling to build up his blades right now.
I like
He's
the
only
EQO
at
Tracer on
40%,
attack
already
because I
built
think it
him up
allows you to do
So much
this.
And it's because of the lack of Orisa. He needs the holds to
Oh,
try and
no
combo
Smite's
it
dead. This
together.
is so bad for
See that
Paris.
the Paris Eternal are trying to play
Ooh,
aggressively.
Nano
They
Sparkle.
use the Nano onto Sparkle, and yes,
Might
it's
keep
still
them in
alive,
it.
but
They
they're
are
just pumping
they are going to
everything
stall the
into it to
point,
try
which
and
is
make him
nice.
build up these blades.
So they're probably not going to
Matters not
finish,
the
but hoping there. That was.
I mean,
Hey, he gave him 2 shots.
Fusion rolling
That's
this
so
one in
nice.
now. Checkpoint B looks like almost a freebie.
I don't know about that.
EQO
There's gonna be
Tracer's
a
kinda
rally
like-
in the
dude,
blade
EQO was
coming
good
up
at
here, and
everything
Ghostlight's
he
got
played.
Primal, so this is
He
still
was
gonna be
such a
really
flexible
tough one for
player.
Philadelphia Fusion.
Which is why it was so
Large
interesting
chance
that he
of
didn't
Philly
play
getting
much
reset
for
here with
Fusion in
Sparkle's blade,
2020. But I guess like,
and
what are the
cannot
plays
be
they have
stopped.
on Fusion in
That's the
2020?
key,
They
though.
had
They've gotta try and shut
Ivy.
down the Sparkle blade.
Didn't
They
they have
know
one
it's
other
coming.
guy?
Sparkle
Ivy
blade
and
now trying to make it work.
and Hisu
Trying to
played the
push
hit
Carpe
scan.
away from the rest of his team. Sav destroyed.
Oh,
Somehow
Sato
gets
died.
Sato.
That's really
Not sure how
bad.
that happened.
So the Chipsa, sorry, you're right. Let me. Chipsa also did play one time.
Alive. Let's Paris
Is 9K
Eternal
with the
stay in
Fusion here?
control. And this
No, I
is where
think
I'm
9K
worried
went
for
to
the
Fusion in
Philadelphia Fusion team comp. They've done
2021.
a great job of making Ash Tracer work so far on Gibraltar.
Right?
I'll reiterate again for the viewers that this is not what you usually see happen on Watchpoint Gibraltar. Ash Tracer is not the favored comp. Double Shield finds it hard to be able to take the high grounds. And now pushing in through these
He's
choke
still with
points,
Shock, right?
Smite, Handbin, and Sparkle. This is their playground now.
I
They
can't
can
remember
have
exactly.
control of the high ground.
As I said, it's all a
The
blur.
Nano is going in,
Yeah. An
and the
unusual
choke
target.
points.
We're using it on
9K's on a turn.
Nano boost here. Fusion have
That's a massive play from Alarm.
Yep. Alarm creating openings and giving opportunities
Ooh.
now. Perfect shield there.
That anti-nade is
Alive, then
huge.
from above,
The
XC
high noon from high ground?
finding the pickoffs.
Oh, yeah.
There's another one for
Dude,
you. Sato
do you guys
falls.
remember talking of things that were shit? You know, we're just sort of railing on Overwatch 1 at this point, but this point of Watchpoint Gibraltar is a doozy. Second point, Watchpoint Gibraltar, they've actually done a good job of fixing it. I like the changes, but man, this was so difficult to
Shows you
attack.
that Philly are a bit worried about not getting checkpoint B. It becomes so difficult on Gibraltar if you're attacking with a composition that have another blade, which, to be fair, the Fusion have done a great job at shutting down so far, but they've also got to pressure Xe on the high ground.
If Alarm gets to the rally, the Blade's probably not going to do a lot. Whoa, that's an aggressive primal. I don't think it's going to get much. Oh, wow.
Knockup's made the move, somehow found his way onto the high ground and
Where the
traded
fuck
out for
is
Xe.
Carpe
So
go?
the 1-for-1, but I think Philly would be happier having Fury on that Sigma right now. Still with an ultimate in his bank, but not the case.
I was close to EQO being staggered as well. There's only 30 seconds left. Fury has gone over to the Diva, which gives them some ability to contest the high ground. It means that Xe can't just free fire from up there anymore. And Paris don't have very many ults to be able to work with, but this is still tough for Philly. Their positioning is dreadful on the low ground.
What about that nerf? Oh, the nerf this meta was a classic. When was the nerf this meta? We should watch one of those.
No, it's desperate times.
2021 June Joust? Yeah, man, we should go back and watch one of those.
He goes down, no more.
Yeah, there's nothing Fusion can do. Eternal can just choose the dive whenever they want. As soon as they lost with that fight with the rally, there's just nothing they can do.
And that is going to be the Paris Eternal taking
My
the
favorite meta.
Fusion.
There's no way.
I took a sip of my water and I spilled it all over my chest.
I mean, those kind of between the maybe they
Oh, Bren.
force them to make substitutions, and then maybe Paris Eternal's synergy will suffer as a result. Now, it certainly didn't.
Yeah,
work
there's
on
no
Nepal,
way your favorite meta was
but
the nerf this
there's
meta. It
potential
was
for it to
heinous.
succeed here on Nepal.
Didn't play this on was
Eternal.
Lee. So the two maps that it wasn't a good meta for them, which was Lijiang and Gibraltar, are the maps that Fusion lost. So Benbest, actually they didn't bring Nico back in, but Benbest comes in, Soon comes back in. They're playing Lucio Moira,
Yeah, very
Double
reminiscent, and that
Shield,
was where the Paris Eternal just
May
ran away with it.
Reaper.
They're gonna get map
whoa,
control
hey.
first. They're gonna get control of the point
Oh,
first. They have to
baby,
worry
who's
about
ready
EQO
for some
being
Overwatch?
sneaky into their backline. If EQO can find an early pickoff on FD God or
Dies of
that will
cringe.
change the tide of this fight completely.
They're trying to put pressure onto EQO. You can see him. EQO just trying to build up his blade in the midst of them, but the Ice Wall goes.
Yeah, they wall them off so that they're going to get the first cap, which is good for Paris Eternal, because they can theoretically live this forever, because Fielder's going to get a very quick call. Fielder's already at 70%. You got such quick calls because of how much healing you did in a group.
Booping him into range. You can see he got the assist there at the end. You lose your Genji player, you're losing a lot of damage output actually.
I feel like Paris could probably up the
And
tempo
this
here
point
and
will
just win the
continue
fight.
to take up. It's not really like they can punish the Philadelphia Fusion though. They can't speed boost engage into them. They'll just end up getting surrounded. So for Paris, the game plan
Oh,
remains the
Soon.
same. Oh,
You're kidding me.
It should have remained the same. That's Soon just coming straight in, getting a bit too ambitious. Maybe the finals energy taking him off, and he makes a
Absolutely.
big mistake.
Nasty from Carpe to hit that fadeaway headshot.
Yeah, but Paris is still in such a good spot.
Commit ultimates to hold on to this. You get 2 kills, remember, but they lost another one. Sparkle goes down.
Carpe
Still,
just stuck on the low
that is
ground.
not. Bembe swinging away, puts in the damage, and Carpe will fall in the end to the orb. It means that Paris do hold on, but
Yeah, Cole every fight, yeah.
soon getting caught out of position.
Rookie Korean talents,
Oh,
Fielder and
they're going to
Sparkle
get
invest,
EQOs.
and
That's
not
such a
good.
bad
Save
stagger,
Soon.
dude. Philly's
And that's
getting
another mistake, but
blasted.
this time for the Philadelphia Fusion. EQO is getting picked off
All right.
early in these fights because he has
Is there a
to
regional
be
look
the
yet? No,
guy
we don't know what
that
next
makes
year's
the
Overwatch
play for the
Esports is
Fusion.
going to look
He
like.
needs to be putting pressure on the
Imagine
defensive
Kyrian
lines
said a
to
Moira
just
hit.
can't
No,
engage.
I'll
you
say
would
right
still
now,
stick
there's a
Moira.
lot of pressure on FD God right now to shut down EQO.
You would still stay the Moira. Moira does so much hit. Because Kiri doesn't do AoE healing is the problem with Kiri. She does a lot of healing, but she doesn't do it in AoE capacity in the same way that like
And
Baptiste or Moira does.
he was really the man of the map on Li Zhang as well. So FD God is just coming up clutch on the ball so
Aggression.
far.
Flux
Straight away, they
beats
wanna play
good
into
here.
them, but it's a huge gravitic flux. Instant.
Yeah, counter flux. Dude, this is just a round, I think. EQ pulls the blade, gets harmed in, but it doesn't matter. Ooh! Just a solo shatter from Benbest.
Well. The shatter is immense, and that is all they need to 100 to 0.
Why not Bap here instead of Moira? I think Moira is better at this during this time. With 6 tanks, I think Moira is better. I don't think Bap is as good. Bap's good, but I think Moira is just more survivable. Cole's really strong. I think Cole is dramatically better than Window at this point.
Now what I'm anticipating is Paris to move back to Widow Genji. They might not, but last time when they played against
Feels like they
want to
play when they want to play Lucio and play really fast. They play with the Moira.
To shred the back line and gets a nice little view of EQO as he's brought down onto his back.
It's a difficult composition because you want to be trying to use those hulks to combo up with
Also, Reaper May don't take advantage of Window. Yeah, that's true. Quad tank was a scary time too. Quad tank. Good old quad tank. 2016. Fucking hell.
It is a new round, so a new opportunity now.
All right, so Paris isn't going to play the Moira again. They're going to play the Bat Bru.
So, not the Widowmaker. They ran Widow before, and it's, you know, it's difficult to get the most value in the world, though Soon did play very well. But now they're going to go for the Ash Mirror. Soon versus Carpe. 2 very veteran presences.
Spark, you can see just going behind the enemy team there. Nice halt to try and combo something up.
Like, look at how much healing is going out. Ooh, oh my god. It did not look like Paris were winning that, but Philly was very weak. Accessible at 200 ping.
I gotta say, I love how Benbest plays. He is not afraid to sacrifice his health and be a bit of bait for the enemy team. He'll push his body forwards, use the Fortify, and use the halts in aggressive positions. He takes space, and if he gets pressured, he backs up, and the rest of the Paris Eternal collapse on whoever chases him.
Oh, FD God just dies. How?
All right, nice little halt accretion. That's FD God gone, so counting for the Pirates Eternal, and they do have Sparkle's Blade ready.
Wow, the Fusion just can't.
Blade is going to be used now by
Oh,
Sparkle.
nice.
One dash in, finds the pick.
Oh
Goes
my.
straight away
That was
in
pretty
there,
good.
the dash reset
Honestly,
somehow
this is like vintage
gets the value
Carpe
that
gameplay,
needed.
though. I feel like a lot of people forgot how good Carpe was. You know, because it's been so many years, you know.
End of Carpe and throws down a sicht.
Dude, soon toxic? Question mark? Liz, please respond.
That one's got a sting. There normally isn't time for trash talk in the middle of these big finals matches. We don't see it very often. Teams are hyper focused on the match at hand. But as soon as he subbed in, man.
Nikio does have a blade, but
Oh, that is...
not in a good position.
Honestly, FD God's rallies haven't been great. This is potentially a window now, because Fusion can walk in with their rally.
Ultimates are going to start to get traded once more. Hanbin has
Like,
it
FD
once
God
already
did not
awaited.
need a rally there, I don't think.
For the right time to try and let it off, and finally decides now is the time. Not really letting it go, in fact, still holding on to
Wait,
it.
Alarm just
Finally
tried to
using
bash
it,
into
but
it?
EQO's time with the blade. Straight
That's
into
a
the
lot
back
of
line,
ultimates,
dodges
though,
the
by
friction.
Philly. What is that?
Lets
That's
it go.
literally
Fusion
3
Hanbin
at the same
straight
time.
out to the Fusion.
Bongo
Finally
Flux Blade.
biding their time, find an opening enough.
Who's your most memorable player from out? Myself. But outside of myself,
EQO with a really nice
probably
blade combo with both of his tank ults as well.
Kariv.
Something that Philly have been doing more and more. Hello, Soon.
Soon? Okay.
Just being staggered over in the left-hand side, honestly. There wasn't much that Soon was really able to do. You don't normally
I always
stagger an
enjoyed
Asher
watching
with a
Kariv.
makeup because they can kill you as soon as look at you. But they managed to dodge that. And all right, now the question is, can the Philadelphia Fusion hold? They must hold this next
My
fight
favorite
against
player to
Spartan
watch
Super
of all
League.
time, though, has always
Otherwise,
been
they
Prophet.
will go down
Like,
3-2
that's why
in
I
the
consider
series.
Prophet the GOAT, because
That
he's
is
always been
devastating
exceptional,
on
even
their
pre-out.
pick of Nepal.
Potentially
Like, he's
final
just
flank
always been so
territory. Huge pick.
impactful.
Big
Oh,
pick off,
FD
and they
God
wanna go
dies
anyway.
early.
They want to try and take
That's
this, but
huge
Sparkle
for
goes
Fusion.
down early. The timing was not there, so Bembest, he couldn't make the decision to cancel his supercharger. He lays it down and wastes the
Arns
ultimate.
in his prime was the most fun player. Dude, Arns was just
That's almost
smurfing in
perfect
Overwatch
for the
League
Philadelphia
finals.
Fusion. You could not
Like,
have asked
Arns
for
was
it
just
better. You
exceptional at
repelled
hit
the
scan
push,
for the time.
And the supercharger is wasted. That's great stuff. FD God has been picked off a number of times now, right at the beginning. So he's definitely got to try and play a little safer, stay behind the Sigma
good block.
shields, use the bodies of his tanks to be able to get in for free. They still have the blade, though. Sparkle could turn this still.
Yep. Use Bob, and that's just going to be contesting the point up, so forces a couple of players to just
And
go
he-
EQO again. Playing that flank style, are you kidding me? What was that?
What happened to Soon? Soon
Dash
just
into
disappeared. He
bash.
must have got
Oh
headshot by
my
Carpe, I think.
goodness. Beautiful.
Because Soon was
mechanics
there, and then he
from
wasn't. I don't
EQO,
think the
and
dash
Sparkle has to
right click
really
was that
think
good from the
about how he
Genji.
wants to be using this ultimate.
This is getting close. It's tense for both teams. The Hulk into the Dragon Blade as well. Can he find anything? He's hit by the accretion, pushed back. So
That's
much
another
damage to
blade,
Fury, though, and
bad
he does
flux by
eventually fall.
Fury.
The Sigma down for the Philadelphia Fusion, and that's going to be the tank line. 99%.
And EQO, he's got to come up huge. He's got to clutch this. Finds one. He's going to get the dash reset. One
That was
slash
a
into
great
the
job.
back
That was
line.
really well played by
Vision do not
EQO.
want to give
He
this one
zones
up.
Paris away.
They have
FD
to
God's
press
just going to get the
forward. They
rally,
have to
though.
try
Yeah,
and
I
find
think
the
you just
pick
pop
off.
the rally and you win, though.
Moving forward now, but the amplification matrix from Paris is going to be laid down, and that window is a boatload of damage to try
Yeah,
and
you just
push
walk at
away
them.
the Fusion as they try to recontest this one. Soon with the follow-up kill there onto Carpe. The damage dealers are being dealt with. Paris Eternal moving forward, one way into the sky, and the Paris Eternal walk away
Woo,
victorious. with that
3-2
one.
to Paris Eternal.
3-2 in our grand finals.
What a showing from Paris. They've had great
Wait,
map
how
picks
long
for
is
the
this break?
Philadelphia
We have a
Fusion.
24-minute break
to force
between maps?
What's going on?
Holy
Wizard World,
fuck.
2-2.
We definitely don't do that anymore. Well, I guess we don't do anything anymore. But
Adaptation.
to note from these two team compositions.
tech
is
issue?
what
Yeah,
Belgium
must have been.
was-
No, I think we had a
is
break.
the
I don't know
key
what
for Messi
happened.
Is trying to shut down flanking play from EQO. Let's take a look. Oh, the Hulk comes over. Bit of Hulk and Dynamite there. Trying to
All right, Blizzard World. I think you're going to see double shield from both these guys.
40% of his ultimate. Just trying to prioritize that blade build up, and EQO just making an angle. Nice whip shot to peel
Good whip.
away. Exi actually pushed away from the fight there, but everyone on Fusion is very, very low. But not before Sparkle goes down himself. So a nice even trade. EQO finds Exi, means no more damage dealers. The Fusion have been given a window of opportunity, and they are sure to take it now. Amplification Matrix unloaded, just for good measure. Not
Well,
sure
watch
it's
point
too
breaks are the thing. Yeah, well, that 24 minutes was a watch point break. So we had a watch point break after the third map and after the fifth map, I think it was.
Using the rally
So-
to try and contest this.
I think this makes sense though, because Sparkle is going to come in off the
Second
score.
map.
Sparkle comes back in.
Sparkle with the blade, knocked back
And then we
the
got
ball,
rid of
the
that.
accretion
And
as
I
well.
think it was
Putting in so much work. Still not over.
because like the flow of the game felt a lot
Still
better.
have players in this fight, but finally Benbest and FD God will fall, and that gives the Fusion the opportunities they were looking for, the openings they were looking for.
Bren, I want to point out a hidden talent that we've kind of overlooked, I think, so far. Sparkle has been shut down on so many of these blades, more so than against any other team. And in my opinion, the biggest reason is because, yes, Alarm is there setting up with a bash, but so is Fury. Fury seems to hit every accretion. And frankly, it's bonkers that we haven't talked more about this guy, because he's, you know, historically he's been arguably the best off-tank that we've ever seen in Overwatch. But he is hitting some nasty accretions to shut down Sparkle's blades. And if you can take Sparkle out, you have taken Paris out.
He's literally #1 in all Sigma stats. Yeah. Harmin was so good in this year. And that's why it was kind of crazy, because people, I think like people really thought Krong was like, because I like the Krong role star debate, but like Krong obviously was really good. It was the Summer Showdown as well in 2020, right? The one that they won. But Hanbin was better objectively throughout the course of the season.
And Philly are going for a wraparound play here, aiming to take control of the high ground away. It looked like they were hesitating for a moment, but Philly will move up there. They won't be able to push the payload, though, in the meantime. They don't have a Tracer, and EQO's not really going to push the payload himself. He's required in the fights. So this high ground engagement's going to be quite tough, especially with Benbest Supercharger online.
Dude, Carpe is just free shooting.
Built up that bomb, sent it in. Well, oh my goodness, running straight into them, and it seems the Fusion turning up a little bit here.
Well, actually, against Carpe is pretty big, but I don't think it's going to matter too much.
Carpe and Bob. Dynamic duo going to be gone here, but the Fusion are definitely going to be winning this one now as they commit the window just to the fight. The Hulk going to be pulling them together for it, and the Fusion rolling forward.
Choi, Pepe, oh, okay. No, Choi was guaranteed in that list. We already knew Choi was in this list. The Krongham and Void was like the up-and-comers, you know?
Fury. They have been so consistently excellent. Hanbin on the ball just to try and contest point B, but this does not look doable. I don't see a world in which Paris...
Philly is kind of rolling right now.
As well. You can see Hanbin. The fact that he's had to switch over to the ball just to try and contest this is not a good sign. He will eventually fall, and now...
Void was, I think, the big shock. Well, do you guys remember going into 2020? Johnny was like, Void is like the most overrated player in the league, and then Void went on to be exceptional for the next like 3 years. I think that still haunts Johnny to this day. To this day, Johnny is still like, that's probably one of his biggest regrets.
But Philly have a bit of an advantage.
Hey, but watching this makes me realize how much I miss Al and all the people that made it feel alive. Hey, you know, like, this is 2020 when everything was still very active and very alive, and, you know, there was so many fans and all that kind of stuff, so... These are the good old days, you know, and that's the whole point of going back into the Al classics, going to the archive and enjoy some of these games.
But, yeah, Fusion, they know exactly how to play.
Yep.
Any openings of their own here. Positioning.
Carpe can land a headshot. The rally's already come out for FD God.
That is a huge gravitic flux off onto the side.
Yeah, huge
Fury
flux.
3 targets.
It's kind of interesting, back then, like, the flux wasn't the deadly... Oh, so many counters. Just bashed.
From Sado, the Philadelphia Fusion are like no other team we've seen at being able to shut down Sparkle. Sparkle has had his way with this tournament so far, and this is the only team that has had an answer. The only team with the coordination and the ability to retreat.
Sparkle, they have done a good job of showing that. Like, Sparkle in the last, like, 2 maps, his blades haven't been getting as much value, other than ones that were, like, kind of, like, sure things. He's getting booped.
As you can see, Xe with the Deadeye as well. Way too much damage to try and negate and push through, along with that amplification matrix. A lot of ultimates.
I'm trying to look at the silver lining and be excited for the next version of Overwatch Esports and the new names and stories that will happen. Hey, it'll be interesting to see if it's better. You know, like, I'm optimistic that maybe the new model moving away from franchising will lead to...
Applied to Sparkle. When you combine that with FD God giving him the rally and Inspire healing is huge. And Hanbin is off
that
a weird
was
angle, meaning the
dangerous.
Okay, but Xe immediately
Dude, Xe and Carpe just randomly get the most strange kills. Wait.
Boombox went down, but still the Fusion
Benbest is back. That's huge.
Prioritizing that supercharger, and he does just that. Blade coming out now.
Oh, he bonked his head. If he didn't bonk his head, he might have killed him. Oh, he got to get him both. A huge blade by EQO. Holy crap.
EQO showing up. What is that? Ridiculous.
Giving him the
movement.
business.
That is going to be the completion, the capture for the Fusion with just 20.
Honestly, I think the Flashpoint tournament is a really good start. I wish we had streams for the early matches. I just don't think it's not worth streaming the early matches. It's very difficult to do. As long as they do a good broadcast for the later matches, I'm not too worried about the Flashpoint. What is that? The Bren special.
You can kind of tell the more this series goes on that if you... Okay, let's take out the control maps. The control maps where Paris Eternal were playing the...
Can't see him top that blade, cuts to this map. Yeah, I know. EQO's peak. There's no way it gets better from that than that.
Genji has where he can just get blades.
Actually, let's watch this back.
And it sets EQO up for these ridiculous plays where he can just come in.
If he didn't bonk his head, he would have been able to get Hanbin low. He might have got 2 slashes there.
Of course, get blades like this.
The fact that he still found value at that when his dash moved into the precision, but he still made the most of it. His team still pushed in, took number 3.
I think that, like, for the flash ups, I think if you were going to do this again, I think there should be, like, it shouldn't be, like, it should be expected that the replay codes will be posted.
From EQO,
so that people can watch them. You know? I think that'd be a cool thing.
Who must not be discounted from the conversation because his Brigitte has been genuinely game-changing for the Philadelphia Fusion. People doubted him on it at the beginning, but he has just been so good.
Pass Eternal's playstyle revolving around Sparkle, enabling him completely. It's been working, it's carried the...
I noticed on the and like more accessible so that people can watch it and make content and all that kind of stuff.
Not the opening you want if you're Paris.
Value out of the McCree on attack than it is on defense.
Yeah, this will be interesting for Paris. See how they do this.
Picks all over the place. Maybe gonna go for a flank and take the high ground, but it seems unlikely. I think he'll just push with the rest of his team. No, it does look like he's got...
Well, while they've been walking in, Carpe has just been peppering them with damage, and he's already built up a bomb for this next fight. And
Xe has snuck around the side. He's all the way up away from the rest of his team.
Yeah, we'll see what he's
good
able to
rock.
do here. He's actually peppering in damage into Fury. Fury is unaware. But the bomb did force the positioning. EQO trying to get that kill to FD, got desperate for it.
Dude, EQO wanted it so bad.
He does get out alive, and now they move forward. Paris trying to make their mark. EQO shut down.
What do you do?
Flashback
Just
from
flash
Xe
bashed. Rocked.
Now Xe going for a flank.
Yep,
He's
rock.
hungry. He can smell the blood
Ooh,
in the
Xe.
water. Boom, boom. Something that we don't really talk about too often, but...
Alarm rallies, but I don't think it's going to matter.
Now you see Paris Eternal just trying to take advantage of the fact that they're a little bit
So much going on.
Fusion is all over the place.
Ah, yeah. Paris Eternal going to cap. That was really important because Paris didn't even really use many ultimates. Fusion used everything to try and hold on, while Eternal held on to a lot of their ultimates.
Taken out. I think, could the Fusion even contest this? Am I talking
So whenever they translated by unknown, I really thought Blizzard just didn't know who was doing the translation.
Everything they need. Ben Best and FD got her at 90%.
I say that.
Yeah, Philly Fusion just living on this high ground.
Such a good job here at bleeding out the ult bank of the Paris Eternal.
I think we'll probably watch like a Dallas Fuel versus Shanghai.
Possible. Flashbang not going to be getting too much damage. The Fortify was there, but
so easy for your board. Xe on ping? No. Xe was ping 2021, I think.
Because Paris Eternal have split their team up into 2 here. Hanbin's on the flank. He has a gravitic flip, and this might be right into where they want them. Because Hanbin, look how
rallies but dies instantly.
It's a hard ask right now if you are the Fusion, still rolling in. EQO trying to turn it around with his own blade. Being crushed. A team that's repeatedly failed to capitalize on.
Double shield Genji, hit scan. Surely 3rd seed is better than 8th seed.
Negating Sparkle's impact. But Xe's there with the McCree now to try and punish EQO's flanking playstyle. This battle between the two teams, the mind games that are in play right now.
Boy, this is very uncomfortable.
Potentially,
you look very comfortable. I'm very uncomfortable.
Let's be real. The final map here.
All my money on Philly. Literally.
In order to stop Carpe, just
yeah, Carpe's going to be so free on these high grounds.
Widowmaker or Ashe maps that we have in the pool.
Dude, 23%. Just pull hit everyone. Sparkle just dashes through them into safety. Go again. 37% blade to Sparkle already.
That was Fury. Again, good timing from him.
You think this was Sparkle at his peak?
Xe again, that threat of the flashbang, but the fight still continues down in the lower sections. Sparkle dashing through the opposition, slicing and dicing, going straight.
Dude, Sparkle has blade already. Like, he is so far ahead of everyone else, it's bonkers.
As soon as EQO got taken out, Sparkle was there, ready to go aggressive.
Yeah,
not
like,
worried about his
Genji had...
do to him. And he is 65%.
Oh, wow.
EQO, and they have immediately captured point A. And Philly aren't even set up on the high ground here.
You're gonna
This
watch
is
another
weird.
Albot after
Normally
this one?
you
No,
would see
no, no. I think so. The
Fusion
plan
immediately
is
set up
just
on high
so
ground
for
and start
context,
moving.
Caught out of position, but that's
and then I'll upload that over the weekend, and so just do 2 a week as time goes on. I don't want to do too many at one point. Yeah, just kind of like flooding the channel at that point.
Tries to make something happen, and the rest of the pass going to be feeding into them.
Oh, is this the famous EQO clutch map? No, that's a different series.
To stop that one.
Very good high ground control and brilliant pickoff at the beginning by Carpe. This is a very powerful. Never be able to push past the bridge. I'm thinking of Decay when he was playing for Dallas against the Houston Outlaws. I'm thinking of Shanghai.
Like, how do you deal with this? This is so
and I
awful.
worry about what Xe is going to be able to do. Having said that, I feel like I say it every time he's on the McCree, and he still manages to come
What?
out with the goods.
Oh, if Digo goes off the edge of the map.
How? Hello?
The whip shot finds it. Carpe's Bob, I mean, it is going to go down, but at the end of the day, they've got the opening pickoff. Now, the cart is moving, which should force Fusion to kind of act and drop
Dude,
down.
the Sparkle, I was praising how quickly he got the blade, and he just hasn't used it.
Some space. You can see the mind games as they're
This map sucks because of this bridge, yeah. This bridge is very difficult, especially with the double shield, that defenders can just sit up there. And, like, look at them. They can just sit on this high ground. It's what makes this point so hard to attack. Unless that happens, Carpe just dies.
Absolutely huge.
Yep, and this is the corner where you need to defend.
Blade, Bongo, rally, rally. Xe dies. Sparkle doesn't get anything with it. Oh, the flux is good, though. Whip.
Once more.
Woof. Paris kind of rolling right now.
Fury got stagged in the background as
Fury's
well,
just in
which is
Narnia.
a little bit disorientating, but Paris now, they've gone through one of the most difficult sections of this entire map.
Xe had some pretty crazy Widow plays this week. I know which one you're talking about, the flank Widow shots.
Mistakes like that.
Yeah, I think I remember that as well.
Blizzard well, but it ended up not actually coming to fruition. But if he doesn't,
The side of the head.
One piece of utility gone, and that's the rest of the fusion. Look at that, just diving straight in.
And it goes into like a Zai. Zai gets like super buffed, kind of like this season, funnily enough. Zai gets like super buffed going into the playoffs, and then Dallas dropped the K going into the playoffs, and then EQO goes through. We can potentially watch it. That might be another one to go back and watch. Ooh, nice play.
Mechanics, EQO.
Yeah, Stitch played really well during that time. Like, Stitch was kind of like having a pretty meh Overwatch League career prior to that.
you definitely think of
But then he ended up popping off. Janu was on sick on the hog.
No slouch whatsoever.
Aim God was playing like the most aggressive Zen you've ever seen of his life, I'm pretty sure.
Honestly, fantastic mechanics.
Back when the Fusion had Shadowburn, one of the most world-renowned Genji players of all time, EQO still had playtime over it. That's how good EQO is on the Genji himself, how well he fits into the playstyle of the Fusion. Showcasing it here and now. But the Paris Eternal...
I have nightmares about that meta, dude. That was a wild time.
Both those tank ultimates.
More aggressive than Vile Zen, it was. Aim God like invented the aggressive Zen of like, fuck it, I'll do it myself, Zenyatta.
It's quite difficult to do. Now, Davidic Flux is going to force down, and that is a great collapse onto Sparkle.
Yeah, good flux, good window.
The dive attempt was there.
They used the Bob as well, so a lot of ults. I feel like Philadelphia did this a lot in this series, where they just like blow all of their ult. They like use too many ults, and then Paris just give it up, except that they lost that fight and then come in with more ultimates.
Dash cooldowns, and he does there. As Sparkle goes for the engage, there's EQO towards the end as well. This is just a replay of his previous blade, where he was able to tear people to pieces. But we're going to cut that a little short because Paris are going to come back on the attack. There's 2 minutes left for them, and they have all the ults.
It's an interesting
they
replay.
need.
Yeah, a lot of ults indeed. Rally just to enable them to walk through. Spark joking.
I feel like Sparkle needs to do a better job of baiting the rock. Oh my flux!
Do not want to give it into the Gravitic Flux. Straight up in the air, and they gave them the angle. It gave Xe the angle, the opening he needed.
Sparkle's just bait. Sparkle goes in, forces all the cooldowns, so that Harmbin can flux. Honestly, Giga Chad Sparkle.
Back, and you remember, oh goodness me, yep, Xe, one of the best McCrees in the world.
Deadeye is so difficult to find value within this meta, but the Flux combination is perfect. And as much as Fury and Alarm...
Paris walks on Philly without cooldowns, rinse and repeat this entire map, yeah.
Paris Eternal have already taken all of the position necessary, and EQO...
There's so many cooldowns already used by Philly. Big pick on off FD God.
Some real snowball potential here, though.
Trading back, though. Oh, no, Philly's going to hold.
From the hip shot, and Carpe still alive, pumping in the damage. They can breathe a sigh of relief. Fusion going to be holding on to this point. Not letting them push, but it is
4x3 map. Window makes me laugh every time. It just looks IMAX cinema.
This is desperation from Paris. They need some huge play from Xe. Otherwise, Philly, with their amazing defensive play, are going to hold Paris away from the full completion. Yeah, a lot of ults to be able to work with. It seems insurmountable. The advantages that Philly has are huge, but we've seen weird things happen so far in this series. Both of these teams are so good in the clutch.
Amplification Matrix forces them
Good
back.
disengage from the window.
Back off to the point. Didn't want to get caught out.
Oh, alarm, no!
But the heels are there. Dash
Flux,
from EQO,
Blade.
now the Blade
Oh, there's no
comes
way.
in.
Philadelphia Fusion, there's no way they lose from here.
Philadelphia Fusion can be quite pleased, I think, at stopping that one. What was looking like, honestly, I'll say it, a bit of a disaster early on. They had a bit of a failure to try and defend that one in the first
Yeah, that's
section.
actually interesting. Paris Eternal's the number 8 seed.
Where you go around that U-bend
Because they weren't very good, right? Until Genji got buffed, right?
So the fact that they
Am I correct about that? Like, they were pretty average until Genji got buffed, and then they were, like, really good out of nowhere.
And here's that replay. They're also making
Okay.
stonking time through point A and B, like you just said. But they held it together.
Was Funny Astro?
on
Yeah,
C.
Funny Astro
And
played the
that's
first map.
what's
He was
so
just like,
fun
he
to
was like a
watch about
Lucio
these
guy.
Esco
So he only
matches.
played the
At
first
any
map, which
point,
was Lijiang
momentum
Tower, where they
can
were
just
playing the Rush.
immediately switch,
So,
and a team can dig their heels in and really hold on.
especially
And
a team
the
like
defense
Philly.
of the Fusion was so good.
back when Al had sponsors, the best of times. Coca-Cola, the official refreshment of the Overwatch
When
League.
when the whole world is against them, they turn their back on it and they say, no, we will not go down. But this
Could you predict, Bren, right now, who's going to win this series?
I don't think
couldn't.
so, no.
I have no
I
idea.
have no idea in the slightest. I'm sure it's quite stressful. I'm a fan of both of these teams, so it is quite stressful for me watching it, but not sure who I want to win at this point. XC going to be playing that Widowmaker, searching for a shot or two.
Some of the Farados, yeah, we've never really had a hard Farah meta in the league, which is interesting. We've had Farah moments, right? Like, obviously, Shanghai Dragons is a prime example in 2019. We should probably go watch some Shanghai Dragons in 2019 at some point as well.
That's normally the cue for Philadelphia Fusion. They'll try and get big Halt Dynamites and have EQO finish off a pick. But they need to play for the high ground first, I think. EQO's trying to play on the side here, and he did get hurt a little bit. Now he's playing a bit more like Sparkle, getting himself involved in the team fight, getting that deflector. But he's
Whoa.
just been totally
He
safe.
played a lot of Farah in
Signs,
2018.
so to
but-
speak, that they were almost mirroring the Paris Eternals playstyle, trying to go for the Halt dash to try and build up EQO.
Last season, Eternal kind of forcing Farah too, or was it
Listen, you can't-
last year? I think that might have even been 2021 almost. Can't remember exactly.
A lot is done. They're booped back. They're sent backwards, but finally.
Yeah,
the
clean
kill
play
comes
by
through.
Sparkle. Just
Sparkle
using
wants
the
so much
blade
damage, so much
advantage.
work that he's able to.
Kinsale with 38 months. Is this the EQO clutch? Hold! Hold,
Only the
lads!
Blade invested. That's fantastic economy from the Paris Eternal. Normally you see Blade and Rally, or you see Blade and Supercharger, or sometimes, like Philly have been doing, the Blade and the Flux. But the fact that Paris only had to use that single ult has bought them
Oh,
so
wow.
much
Good,
time.
good catch by Alarm.
Alarm saw. Even if the rest of his team didn't, Alarm's got keen eyes, and he spots out the threat on the side.
Yep. Situational awareness through the roof. Now the Fusion have got the ults. Window's probably going to go use the
Unkillable.
application matrices, but forced backwards now. Rally used as well.
Charge randomly won a stage.
Fades away for both
Maybe.
of these teams. Now we see
Oh, good
Flux
flux.
connects onto a lot of targets. Bembest
Good
uses
flux.
Fight in the game,
Oh.
a lot of it. EQO so low. He's only on 7 HP.
Oh, he
Still
got
gets the
one.
Kill, but eventually shut down. XE from afar puts an end to
Hyman
it.
had such a good
Dash
position
through,
here,
the
yeah.
Fusion finding
It's
the
an
big loss.
expensive
A lot
fight
of
for
damage,
Philly to
a lot
win,
of
but they get
sustain.
there.
I think Alarm being one of the key figures there in that team fight.
Yeah, Fury and Alarm. They're such an amazing duo. They're normally defensive to shut down Sparkle, but this time they're playing offensively. Using the Rally, using the Gravitic Flux, setting EQO up, and then
What, is that a dynamite? Just fell by the wayside. Bob comes out.
Are Paris really going to try and defend this?
Okay. Interesting.
Oh, XE gets
maneuver.
boombox.
XE finds a
Oh
pig, XE
my.
finds two.
Dude, this flank was
No,
so
it wasn't
sick.
supposed to end like this on the flank. What a turn
That
of
was such a
events.
sick
And
flank.
that has just put so
And
much
gets
damage.
two.
The
Did not happen.
Yeah, that should not happen. I don't know
XE
where
takes the
Carpe
team
was
fight
and what
into
he
his
was
own
looking at, but
hands. His head only presented for a minimal
GG,
amount
it's
of
over.
time.
Philly Fusion get full
And now
first point
that
held.
has ruined the Philadelphia Fusion. They are going to have double support ults, but nothing else.
30 seconds, Josh. That's all they've got. In the Fusion, they've got to get past this incredible sightline that XE has. The infra side is up. And Paris Eternal.
Oh, Bren.
Close to this
Bren,
blade.
how cruel for Fusion to come so close yet again in a finals. And to have it ripped away from them by a clutch play from XE, it would almost be too much to bear.
Hopes and dreams of the Fusion right now laying bare. Sparkle
Rally.
wants to
EQO
try
is
and
at
put an
40%
end to
blade
it.
right now, by the way.
And it's going right down to the distance as the overtime burns through.
It's happening,
The Fusion
chat.
need to find an opening. Sparkle now moving through, but XE's on the flank. The headshot onto Carpe. One of their star players taken out early. And Boombox just left to his
EQO
own
gets
devices
X, he
on the
gets
sidelines.
Fielder.
He goes down, pulls it through, builds it up. Will it be enough? 1 kill, 2 kill. Are you kidding me? EQO now finds it with the third. And now it is overtime. Xe moving over to the
just
tracer to try and
murders
deny, but
Xe.
EQO,
Kills
EQO,
Fielder.
What a player, what a star.
Sheesh.
Unbelievable. EQO reminds everybody at home why he's still on this roster.
I have chills, Bren. That's the single most... Xe gets the first kill, and EQO somehow responds. The clutch blade at the end as well. I'm in shock. I think the Paris Eternal will be in shock as well.
That should have been the series, but EQO has kept them in it. He's handed them a lifeline.
Supercharger here available for Sado. Yeah. It's BenBest that uses his first. Both teams trade, and
down.
EQO again.
BenBest goes down, the Immortality Field goes down as well. A lot of openings here. EQO with the dash.
He's
reset
feeling
once
himself.
more. Finding so many opportunities. He's already built up the blade. Everyone is crumb. He probably thought that that was the series done and dusted.
And now Philly, in stunned silence, they move forwards. EQO with another blade. This could be huge. Boombox as well with a massive amp matrix. That's going to force Paris Eternal to disengage. Hadn't been forced to use his ult, but EQO goes down.
EQO going down could be critical. Could be the difference between losing this. Has
Yeah.
always been there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he needs to rally. You can win this.
Now it is
5v4.
Pandemonium on the point. The final section here, Fury trying to find openings.
2 rallies, just no one's ever gonna die.
Going to be used to try and force them back.
Whoa!
Paris are not out of it just yet.
EQO from the top
right.
rope.
Unleashed. Finding one pig off Fordham, the flashbang. I don't know if that
He pulls it so late.
EQO tries to force out the blade, but gets shut down.
It's so
Josh,
sad.
30 seconds
We got the
left.
BenBest Reinhardt.
And surely the Philadelphia Fusion cannot do it again.
Yeah.
Seconds remaining of being able to turn that fight, then them
Final
approach
moments.
all the way in. There's only 10 seconds remaining, Bren. BenBest has moved over to the Reinhardt, and I think this might be it for Philly.
Holds it off the high ground. Could be a good opening, and Carpe finds
Sparkle
it. The
down.
headshot of the Sparkle shuts him down. The overtime will tick. An opening
Boom.
over the Earth Shatter. Last ditch effort here. BenBest tries to find it, and then he connects it onto one. Paris Eternal finding so many. Xe with the flank of a Sentry.
The flank.
Putting in the damage, shutting down the Fusion, and they denied him of their crown. They denied him of their champion title. The Paris Eternal take this.
Fielder.
Your champions in NA. That is fantastic. What a series. What a take the win over the Shock. They upset the defending
Unbelievable.
champions. They take the win against the Philadelphia Fusion here again. And how cruel. How cruel.
Dude,
Philly
look at how
fans rolled
sad
them
the
all.
Philly team is.
As they win
the-
the grand finals of 2018 against the London Spitfire.
All right.
And then once again,
Alarm Sag.
they will be denied.
Sado
a
Sag.
title.
Hey,
By heart,
it's rough. It's rough, chat. But that's the first one. It's very dark in here because I have a cat on me, and apparently it's pitch black outside because it's 5 p.m. and daylight saving sucks. But this is the first one. This is our Overwatch League Classics series. We wanted to do one of the big bangers. You know, that clutch by EQO probably goes to 7 maps, Genji meta. What else could you ask for? I have many more games to watch. Tell me what you guys want to see in the comments below. I'm going to be going through them in the offseason as December, what used to happen in the Overwatch League. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.